Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to the apostles. Salutations to you brothers on this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Alright, we're going to hop right into it. Got scripture? In fact, you can get Isaiah 1. And you can get Leviticus, I think it's 11. The curse of leprosy. Basically, it's going to, there's something about that color red. You can get Genesis, the mark of Cain. And then get Genesis 25. Then get Isaiah 34. I doom the people of my curse. Okay. So I don't forget that. Malachi 1. Salakia. Let's touch up his color first. You got the Isaiah? When it says your sins be as crimson?
Mm-hmm. It's Isaiah 1:18. It says, "Come now and let us reason together, saith Yahweh. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool."
There you go. So that color red, that's a mark of sin, man. Even the word criminal, crime, goes back to what? The word crimson, which means red. Then it said also scarlet. Just like that book, The Scarlet Letter. What happens? In fact, they'll think they lied on the bitch or whatever, but they could say she committed adultery, so what's her punishment? She walked around with that mark, that scarlet A, for that red letter, man. And the church made her do that because the church knew what that red represented, man. That's the mark of sin, man. All right? We can get Genesis, the 3rd chapter, when the Lord, right after Cain gave the offering.
4.
It's 4 and 6.
Genesis 4 and 6. And Yahweh said unto Cain, "Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? Thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? If thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him."
And thou shalt rule over him, man. So Cain will be the ruler of sin, man. All right? He will be the wicked. All right? That seed of the devil. Go ahead.
So, and Cain walked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And Yahweh said unto Cain, "Where is Abel thy brother?" And he said, "I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?" And he said, "What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened up her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
All right, so curse from the earth. Go ahead.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond that shall be in the earth." And Cain said unto Yahweh, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond of the earth. It shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me." And Yahweh said unto him, "Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Right, and what's that mark? All right, well, we read in Isaiah, the mark of sin, which Cain is the ruler of, is that red. You got the Leviticus? Let me get the right verse for you. It says reddish, whitish skin. There's a couple of them. You got something like that?
No.
Okay, it's Leviticus 13.
10.
That's one of them, yeah. Because it shows they got that old leprosy. Get it.
Leviticus 13 and 10. I'm going to start at 9. It says, when the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and they have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean.
Now, it says it's an old leprosy. Now, you have seen Edomites, they get, I forget what it's called, when they had that shit on their, it's just, you sit on their fucking face, they already fucking red, but it'd be raw flesh.
Mm.
It's like sclerosis or some shit like that. I forget what the skin disease is called. But that goes to show they have that old leprosy, man. That Esau is that cursed seed. Now you can skip down to verse 24.
Leviticus 13 and 24 says, or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof he is hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning, wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy.
Right, so there you go. That reddish skin goes back to the curse of leprosy, man. All right, in the case of Esau, he has the old leprosy, man. All right, he's a clean leper, man. Because if a Jake, turn lepers, they skin turn white, as a whitish complexion. Esau got that old leprosy, man. That's why when they have a case where they get a double curse on them, when they break out, they get that raw fucking red flesh on their fucking face. Or on their fucking arms and shit, man. Because they got old leprosy. All right, which goes to that curse, man. That mark for sin. That red fucking skin. All right? That crimson. What was that called? What you got?
Genesis 25.
Kind of, go out.
Genesis 25.
Genesis 25 and 25.
Oh, Slacky, right before you get that, let me get one more thing. And really, people know this, man. That's why they say the devil is red. But they don't stop to think that that's talking about Esau. He was a murderer. Yeah. This is John 8:44. You have your father the devil. The lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, which is the account we just read of Cain, who was the first murderer, man. Okay? And he said he should be the ruler of sin. He is he is the physical counterpart of the devil on earth, man. Alright? And abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh the lie, he speaketh of his own. He is a liar and the father of it. So Cain is that devil. And guess what? Revelations 12. And oh shit, what is that red dragon?
That old serpent.
Yeah, I thought it said red. I got the one in Revelation 12:9. Maybe I was butchering in my head. I'm sorry. Well, go ahead, get to Genesis 25.
Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out of his hand. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she slackened. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
17.
So the brothers get ready to go into the color of Esau. So the first one came out red all over like a hairy garment. They called him Esau. So like the brother get into like the crimson and that red is synonymous with Esau Edom.
Oh, 12 and 3. Kind. Alright. But exactly, Esau Edom has that red flesh in it. because he is the wicked, that curse. This is Isaiah 34 and 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. All right. So Esau was the seed of Cain after the flood. Come back, man. Just as Israel was the seed of the children of Adam through Seth after the flood. All right. Esau, Edom is the wicked, man. That same seed of Cain, which was the wicked, as it said literally in Genesis, man, and in John 8. All right. This is Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau. You can get Job. I think it's 32. No, Job 30, 29, I believe. All right, this is Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Yahweh of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So Esau, Edom is of that seed of Cain, man, after the flood. They have the same curse that was placed on Cain, that red flesh. As the Lord said in Isaiah 34, they are the people of this curse. They are the border of wickedness, man. All right? They are the ruler of sin, man. That's why they have that red crimson skin. That's that mark. That's what that red represents. And then it said their heritage is a waste for dragons of the wilderness, which is just who they are, man. Okay? You got that, Job?
Come.
Does it say my brother to dragons, right? That's the right scripture.
Yeah, the children base, man.
Job.
Yeah. Job 30, they were children base, man. 29.
30, 29, come on.
Yeah, Job 30 and 29. So I'm a brother to dragon. I'm a brother to dragons and a company to owls.
All right. A companion to owls, man. And who is Esau? Our twin brother, man. He's the dragon. All right. This is Revelation 12 and 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads, which represents the Romans, man. And they ruling class, man. All right, today is the EU. All right, and then you skip down to verse, which in fact, even the Roman army was called the Red Dragon. Okay, but if you skip down to Revelations 12 and let's see, 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, which is what devil means anyway, deceiver. He was cast down to the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. All right? So that red dragon, that serpent, the same serpent from the beginning of Genesis, man, that old serpent, it's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, which is actually red. All right? And that's his curse, man. Having that red flesh where he can't stand in the fucking sun. All right, it's a physical. That's a physical play on the fact that he can't stand in the light, man. He has no truth in him, man. He ain't got none. He can't receive it, man. So he can't even stand in the fucking sun. He is the wicked, man. Full of darkness, man.
This is 1 John 3. I'm gonna start at 11. I'm going to start at 10. It says, in this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of the Most High, neither he that loveth not his brother. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, since Genesis, that we should love one another. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thy brother. First thing he did when the Lord questioned him, what did he say? Am I my brother's keeper? He got smart, man. And the real answer, yes, nigga, you are supposed to be your brother's keeper. It says, verse 12, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one. And you can read First Maccabees 1. It tells you about the line of Alexander and his 4 generals and Antiochus and them, man. They were of the wicked one as well. And who was the wicked one? Malachi 1 and 4. Esau, Edom, and is the border of wickedness. So it's letting you know that all these people is one and the same, man. It says, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother, and wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brothers were righteous, which was played out again when Jacob and Esau was born. This is Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. The same spirit that was in Cain is the same spirit that was in Esau, man, which was the same spirit that was in the garden back with Adam, man, that serpent. You know? It says through envy of the devil came death into the world, man. And Cain was envious of, the serpent was envious of Adam. Cain was envious of Abel. And Esau was envious of Jacob. It's the same thing playing out over and over again.
And it went down to Amalek and the children of Jacob.
Yep.
Oh, you got it?
No. I can get it.
And I'm going to read that Maccabees for you. This is First Maccabees. You had something up?
No, I'm getting something.
Okay. This is First Maccabees 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. All right? Why would evils multiply? Because the wicked was ruling. As the king, so is the people, man. As the ruler, so is the people. All right? And there came out of them a wicked root. Antiochus, her name Epiphanes. There you go, a wicked root, man. Son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 120 years. It's like 30 and 70 year of the kingdom of the Greeks. All right, so Esau, Edom is the so-called white man, because you go through Alexander's line, it goes back to Agag, man. All right, so he's of the seed of Amalek, man. All right, and that's who, and so was his generals, man. This is Esau, Edom ruling, man. And they're in the border of wickedness, because wickedness increased when they got in power, man.
This is Exodus 17:16. It says, for he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Because you was the whole ass niggas that came out against us, man, when we wanted to pass through the land. Mm-hmm. You know? You was the whole ass niggas, man, that came from behind. You know? And when in nature, man, when you see animals marching, who's in the back? It'll be the women and children and the old, the weak, the sickly. You know, so likewise with humans, man. When you see humans on a march, the ones that's the more tired, the ones that's the more weaker, are going to be the ones in the back, man. And guess what your whole ass did, man? You came and attacked the ones that was in the back. You didn't come head up in the front where the men and the strong were. You took your whole ass in a half, man, and went around in the back, man.
I appreciate it. This is Isaiah 2 and 8, or 2 and 9. It says, when the mean man bowed down, and the great man humbleth himself, therefore forgive them not. You know, and the mean man, you know, is Esau, Edom, man. All right? How was he mean? First starting off with the slaying of Abel. All right? And then going on through the years, his perpetual hatred, man.
I got that right here. Oh. That's a spirit. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, which is where Esau Edom dwelt, okay? I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Alright, so, hey, America ain't gonna be around forever, man. Hey, though you say you should be a lady forever, man, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna come and overturn this bitch. Alright? Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel Slack it. Did I reverse? I'm gonna reverse 4 because I don't know if I read it. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. Thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. All right, the Lord's gonna make His name known, man, with this destruction. So it's gonna be a great destruction, man. Thus, with violence shall Babylon go down, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Those will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passed out, and him that returned. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. Because thou hast said, these 2 nations and these 2 countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Yahweh was there. Alright, goes back to that jealousy, man. Took us down, served us harshly with no mercy, man. Alright, took our land, claimed our identity, which shows it was all over, it's based off jealousy, man. Alright, therefore as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. There go that same envy, man. That perpetual hatred from the beginning, man. From the serpent, down to Cain, down to Esau, Edom, the man and his seed. All against Adam, down to his seed, Abel. Okay? Down to Jacob, and to Jacob's seed, man. The 12 tribes of Israel. The so-called Negro, Latins, Native Americans. Verse 11. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. So Yahweh Bashim is going to make Israel to trust in him forevermore by this judgment right here, man. For your hatred that you had against us, man. Alright, for breaking that brotherly covenant. Esau, Edom, man, because you are the wicked. And which is the Caucasians, man. You fucking cave dwellers. Obadiah, the 1st chapter of the 4th verse. 3rd or 4th verse. Alright? And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Alright, you thought we was going to be dead forever, man. You thought that our power wasn't going to come and rescue us. Hey, but Yahweh Basham Yahushua is going to come show you quite the contrary, man. Alright?
Got some more?
Yeah. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, which is Edom, even all of it, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Hey, so which for the record, let you know, ain't gonna be no few so-called few so-called white people that are actually Edomites waking up to this truth, man. Ain't no fucking heathens for one receiving mercy. Receiving the salvation, and damn sure no Edomites receiving salvation, or any type of mercy, man. Because they show no mercy, man. They shall be most desolate. Esau, Edom will be completely obliterated, man.
You got someone?
No, go ahead. I got a Jew, but it didn't go.
Alright, this is Revelation 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red. Key thing, that red horse, right? And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Genesis 25 says Esau came out red all over, So it is that's a distinguishing mark that was placed upon him. The brother just read in the Genesis with Cain. It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And this Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And what's that sword? That sword was his blessing, according to Genesis 27 chapter.
This Genesis 27 and 37, 36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said to Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. All right, which is, and with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now to thee, my son? And so Israel, as it said, the first the first shall serve the younger, man. So Israel was set up to rule from the beginning. The Lord gave that prophecy before it happened, man. And the Lord had it played out by Esau selling his birthright, man. Jacob didn't steal it, fucking assholes. Esau sold it. He made a deal. And Esau still tried to get it back. He wasn't even honorable enough to accept the fact that he made that deal, man. His captivity didn't have to be that. It wouldn't have to be so bad if he'd been fucking honorable. But him being wicked, obviously, it played out as like this. And Isaac answered and said, it's like 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Hebrews 12:16, man. Which lets you know that the birthright and the blessing goes together, man. Because it says Esau sold it for a morsel of meat. Alright? And that made him profane, man. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off of thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, or what his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So that goes back to that same envy again, that from generation to generation. And Esau's blessing being that sword. That's how he will rule the earth. Alright, he will take Israel down by the sword, and he will rule the earth by the sword, man.
Yep. And Revelations just explain that. You know, the red horse, right? So this is Zechariah 1, I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month Sabbat, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of Yahweh unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse. And he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind him were there red horses speckled and white. Then I said, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me and said unto me, I will show thee what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, these are they whom Yahweh has sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered the angel of Yahweh that stood among the myrtle trees and said, we have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. And what does it mean when all the earth sitteth still and is at rest, man? This is Daniel, the 8th chapter, and the 5th verse. Let me get straight to the point. Verse 5. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes, and that goat represents Alexander the Great in the Grecian Empire. And that's how Esau, Edom got control of the whole world. Job 9:24 started with what? Alexander the Great. Even in their schools and even in their system, they credit what? Alexander the Great with the start of civilization. The start of their civilization, man. This is Maccabees 1
Which Maccabee?
First Maccabees, Slakia. This is First Maccabees 1 and straight to the point, verse 3. It says, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. So it just said the earth was quiet in front of those red horses. Those red horses represents Esau, Edom. Can we get that Job 1 for me, Brother Baruch?
Job 1 and 6 says, now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. And
Satan was among them. Keep going.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro on the earth, and walking from up and down.
The same thing the red horses said, right? Now can we jump to 2 Thessalonians 2? Can you start with the mystery of iniquity? I think it's like verse 5 or 6, something like that.
7. Verse 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. Then shall the wicked be revealed, and Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Which that's happening now. He's been destroyed with the spirit of the Lord's mouth. And what's that? It starts with his prophets. But go ahead.
Even him who is coming is after the working of Satan.
Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan. So when Job, the first chapter, man, that was the spiritual demon Satan. And it says he come from up and down and throughout the earth. The same thing that the red horses that Esau Edom does. So it's let you know, as we are connected through the spirit to Yahushua, Esau Edom is connected through the spirit to the spiritual demon Satan. You know? That's his counterpart upon the earth. It's Esau Edom. And he's here to do what, man? Hey, John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. The earth was given into his hands to do what? To take peace from the earth, man. And that's exactly what you see. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And the state of the world is in mourning right now. And in that 2 Thessalonians, it says that the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. And what was Paul speaking of? He was speaking about the Roman Empire. So that let you know in Revelation 12 that the brother read when it says that great red dragon, man. Which let you know in this Revelation 17, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Who's going around pushing their fucking philosophy, their democracy around on everybody, man? The same ones that put all the earth at rest, man. Who put the earth quiet? And who is that? Nobody can stand up against Esau, Edom. And Jeremiah 51, it's 50 or 51, it speaks about the hammer of the earth, that Babylon is the hammer of the earth. You know? And that's this whore, that's this, that sit at the pump. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep reading. I'm jumping ahead. It says, verse 3, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and they saw a woman, which is 80, we know that's America, sit upon a scarlet colored beast. And what's that scarlet colored beast, man? That's the revised Roman Empire all over again. That's that deadly wound being healed, man. And that's America in the forefront. Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, the hammer of the whole earth, man. You know, can you get Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, if you weren't holding anything? It says, and the woman was arrayed, Slaki, and it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, which scarlet goes back to red, the same red dragon in Revelation 12. It says, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Which let you know that's that same beast. You know, it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery. The mystery of iniquity doeth already work. It's a mystery. It says, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And this place has been doing what, man? Been slaughtering the Israelites ever since its inception, man. Ever since these goddamn red dogs got on those ships and crossed the Atlantic, man, they've been slaughtering our people, man. Starting with the Northern Kingdom to when they got the Southern Kingdom from the west coast of Africa, man. So this place is drunk with the blood of the saints, man. And the only way to cleanse it is by the blood of him that shed it. And the brother read Ezekiel the 35th chapter, which speaks about since thou has not hated blood, man. Blood shall pursue thee. You know?
At the back, right?
Okay. Habakkuk 2 and 2 and 8.
3.
3 or so like it. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is 4. So like it. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Keep going.
He also, because he transgressed by wine.
The same wine of the wrath of fornication. Let you know it's talking about the same God, man. Esau, Edom. The same group of people, man. The same nation of people. Let me say that. Go ahead.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Neither keepeth at home, which goes back to Genesis, man. When Cain was what, man? He was a vagabond and a wanderer in the earth. So that's letting you know the same spirit, man, is happening. The same characteristics is happening over and over again, which lets you know it's the same spirit, man. It's these same people that's coming back. Go ahead.
It says, enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
And is as death, man. He take peace away from the earth, man. Go ahead.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
And who does that, man?
All right, you just read it in Daniel. All right, that he should, they should not stand before him. You know.
And wisdom of Solomon. First Maccabees says that he took down many kingdoms and they become tributaries unto him, man. Mm-hmm. You know, they became consistent with him. Why? Because of his sword, man.
I got a couple precepts to back that up. First, going to the Revelations, the mystery of Babylon, that woman colored in scarlet, which Esau Edom is that scarlet, that red dragon, that red horse, right? This is Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, and the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof, and race and make it bare, man. Like erase, man. Okay? So they destroyed us, man. They broke that brotherly covenant, man. They did not hate blood, right? O daughter of Babylon. So Edom is the daughter of Babylon, man. Not talking about the old Babylon, man, that was taken down. All right, the mystery Babylon, the mystery of iniquity, man. All right, he who works after Satan. That wanderer, that vagabond, who took down the nations, who are to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, man. All right, and that's the faith and patience of the saints, man. We look forward to executing judgments on you fucking Edomites, man. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ratazah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, going to him taking down the nations and having that sword, man, that horse to take peace from earth. Because the Lord set him up, that red horse, remind you, man. It is Isaiah 10 and 5. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. Howbeit he meaneth not so, neither doth his heart think so, but it is in his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not a few. So Esau Edom is indeed, a tool of the Lord, man, to take down the nations. Hell, to even chasten us, man. All right? Proverbs 16:4, real quick, big up.
Okay. Proverbs 16:4. Yahweh hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, man. So Esau Edom was made to bring this judgment to this place, man. The Lord gave him the power to do that. In fact, this is Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, so Esau, Edom, the wicked, Babylon the great, man. All right, mystery Babylon. The sword of the Lord, man, is going to be taken down, man. All right, this is back in Isaiah 10. And 8. He said, are not my princes altogether kings? Is not Calnos as Karshemish? Is not Hamath as Arpad? Is not Samaria as Damascus? As my hand hath found the kingdoms of the idols, and whose graven images did excel them of Jerusalem and Samaria, the cup of Babylon full of abominations, man. Okay? Shall I not, as have I done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. All right, which let you know this is the wicked still, man. This is the sword of the Lord, man. Esau, Edom. I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And my hand hath found as a nest the richest of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. And there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. Alright, and that's Esau, Edom, the same as in Habakkuk, man. Who desirous as hell, man. In fact, can you get Obadiah real quick? If he had gleaned enough?
Yeah, I think it's like verse 5 or 6, something like that.
Right, it took to gather every goddamn thing, man. Who does that? Take strip the earth to every natural resource.
Obadiah 1 and 5 says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Will they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, will they not leave some grapes? How were the thieves of Esau?
Right, so Esau, Edom, hey, a regular thief would take some shit, but the Esau, Edom take the whole damn earth, man. Want to put everybody under subjection to him, man. Harsh rulership, man. His desire is as hell. Esau, Edom is the wicked, the so-called white man, the Caucasian, him that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks, the red man, all right? That curse of leprosy, the mark of Cain, that red dragon, man. That's the so-called white man, the king of Babylon. All right? Shall the axe boast itself against him that healed therewith? That's really it.
Isaiah 14 and 6, start at 5. Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. And that's the whole point, because it's talking about Esau's staff going to get broken. And one of the reasons why, because he ruled the nations in anger, man. All right. Not only did he put it on the tribes, he put hell on nature, on the birds. All right, and the other nations, man. You know, the other nations are fed up with the bullying, you know, and the posturing of Esau, Edom. We got one more. This is Nahum 3 and 1. It says, woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. And that bloody city is America, man. Don't scripture talk about since you do not hate blood, blood shall pursue thee. All right. Well, blood pursuing you all the way into America, man. Mystery Babylon.
God, you said the prey departed not, which goes back to the time that our iniquity had to end. All right, you refuse to let us go, man. Hell, you furthered the affliction, man. All right, you so-called fake let us out of slavery, but just put us under your fucking subjection still. And put us in shit worse than fucking slavery, man. You took away hope from people. At least in slavery, Jake had some type of fucking hope, man. You captured their fucking thoughts, man.
This is Jeremiah 49:16. It says that 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men, which Obadiah, this Jeremiah and Obadiah goes hand in hand on these verses. Thy terribleness have deceived thee in the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh, which you can read Obadiah, and it says the same thing. Also Edom shall be a desolation, every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So we know and got the evidence of what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities. But when did this happen to Esau, Edom? When did this happen to his land? This is Jeremiah, the chapter 50 and verse 35. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. And they shall become as women, which like the great melting pot, man. You know, America, man, all the mingled people, all different nations is here in this place. It says, a sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, saith Yahweh, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. He said the same thing about Edom, man. So it's letting you know that Babylon and Edom go hand in hand. It's the same vision that he's seeing that happened to Edom. It's the same thing that happened unto Babylon. It's one and the same. In Isaiah, the 47th chapter, Isaiah had a vision of the 63rd chapter. Who was this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? He's seeing that destruction. The same destruction that John seen in Revelation, man. The same vision. But in Revelation, he called it Babylon the Great. But in Isaiah's vision, it was called Esau Edom. Because it's one and the same, man. Esau Edom is the king of Babylon. This is Jeremiah 51 and 25. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. Who is that mountain, man? Hey, it's talking about Babylon. Who was controlling Babylon? The guy that got that sword that's sitting upon a red horse that took peace from the earth. It says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyest all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And will make thee a burnt mountain, man. This is Revelations 11 and verse 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth, man. The same thing that Jeremiah said, you know. So when did Babylon get taken down or get destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah? It's not talking about the Babylon during the time of Jeremiah. It's talking about the Babylon today. It's talking about the mystery, that whore that sitteth upon the scarlet beast, man. It's talking about America, man. And who was ruling America? Who was ruling the world? Esau Edom. What the fuck? The president of America is called what, man? The leader of the free world. But who controls him? You know? So to let you know, the scriptures let you know the characteristics of these different nations, man. And the so-called white man fixed the characteristics of Esau, Edom, the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. No, that was it, all right.
Yeah, pretty much. This is Micah 2:1. So, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they cover the fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And like the brother was saying, the Bible's not going to say Caucasian. It's not going to say white man. It's going to give you characteristics of who Esau Edom is. All right, and it is truly plain, man. You know, because these characteristics fit Esau Edom to a T. All right, the Arab man is not going around on them covered in fields and taking lands by force. All right, but you can go around and count. There's over 100 military bases spread across 90-something different countries, man.
This is Revelation 14 and 8. I'm going to jump around. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So we understand what that's talking about, right? So I'm going to jump down to verse 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. That's Yahweh Shai sitting upon that white cloud, that chariot. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and it was cast into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse's bridle, by a space of 1,600 furlongs. So what I read, I started at verse 8 because it let you know that it was talking about the destruction of Babylon falling. And it says that the winepress was trodden outside of the city, right? Which is talking about the great destruction that's going to take place. This is Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, sitting on that white cloud, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Because the modern day Edom, the modern day Basra is here, America, man. Babylon, Sodom, Egypt, Assyria, Nineveh, and so forth and so on, man. It says, wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. The same vision Isaiah seen is the same vision in Revelation that John the Revelator seen. It says, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You know? So, hey, so Yahweh Shai can't wait for Yahweh to give him that word, man. Likewise us, hastening the day. That was it I had.
All right. Hey, hopefully brothers edified. All right, with that, all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai.
That honors the apostles, the elders of all Israel, man. All right, the elders of Great Millstone. So I take you, brothers, doing this thing in sincerity and truth and charity. Shalom.
Shalom.